All right. Well, I'm making this video because I tried to find one online. I couldn't find it. So this is a Vermont casting Intrepid II, and I kind of needed to know a little bit more about maintaining it. I thought I knew what I was doing, but I guess not. I've taken out the ash pan, the guy on top that supports all the wood. I've taken out the catalytic converter and the plate that holds it, everything else. And I looked at this refractory box. It does look a little beat up. I'll probably have to replace this thing in the coming years. But one thing I did notice is that you have to each year just maintain this thing. They work really good. I can get a really good burn out of this thing. Not a long burn, probably about 4 hours, but nevertheless it warms up the kitchen and also warms up the rest part of the house. But one thing I've noticed is that you have to check the seals, and right around here there's a kind of a rope seal, and comes up right around here, and you got to put the cement to put the rope on it. For this model you have to use 5/16. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, install the new cat, the cat that I had in here. Actually, I think it must have overheated and it completely just obliterated. So they're kind of expensive. So one of the things I highly recommend as well is to get a little magnet guy here. You keep this thing on here. I didn't know this, but you got to get. I mean, I knew it, but without this, it's kind of subjective of where the heat's at. And this has to be about 450 degrees in order to kind of engage the cat. And I didn't do that all the time. And it probably got way too hot. Well, some of the ash coming in. It's snowing in the summertime. So it got way too hot, probably destroyed the cat. So we're going to replace that and then kind of maintain this thing a little bit. We'll get going. Okay, well, there's the seal that I just put on. So I want to put the catalytic in, and then after that, I'll put the refractor cover. That should do it. And here's the new cat that I just bought. Again, the other one was just completely destroyed. They're expensive, so you have to maintain it. Once a year, it's good to get in here and just kind of brush off the fly ash. Make sure it's nice and clean. And the way this thing goes in, hang on, hard to do this one. It kind of inserts right inside here. And then there's going to be this cover that goes into there. I'll get that hooked up, and then we'll get the main cover to go over it all. And the trick to this is just to make sure once you get this cover on, it's flush from here to here, because the plate's going to go over the top of all of it. Okay, and the part with the little notch here goes up. So that's how it should sit. So once you get that plate here in, this little hood part just sits on these two lips here, and it just sits in there. But you want to turn these tabs so they're kind of lined up, and then I think it's either a 9/16 or a 1/2 inch. Tighten those guys up, and it'll secure that. And the objective there is to, if it's got a good seal, you just want heat behind there. You don't want flames, going through there. And that's the reason for the seal, to really protect that catalytic converter. And yeah, there we go. Okay, so the next thing is to get this guy to sit in, right? And this is what holds the andirons here. That's so you can top load it and the logs don't come out. Very important. You don't want to just keep opening the front doors. There we go. Slide this guy in. All right, we're looking good. One of the things I'd recommend also is, as you can see, this gasket out here is about had it. So I can actually remove that like that, and then that gives me a good work area. I'll scrape that gasket out. Again, use 5/16 rope. I put some on my door last year, and it was a larger size and made the door a little more difficult to close. All right, moving on. Okay, and that's with the new gasket put in. And what's nice about this, whether you're using the refractor plate, the deck lid, and the doors, is that the glue is pretty good. It's hard to get out of the tube, but once it's out, it really holds the gasket. And what's nice is the weight of the griddle lid will fall on that and hold it down. So we're almost there. Well, there you have it. The lid closes nice. There's a good seal on that. Doors close nice. It's good to do this once a year. It's summer right now, so I know it's taken care of. It's a great little stove. It does a good job. And the biggest thing on heating the home, it's really all about the wood. And if you get like a good hardwood that's been seasoned for about a year, it really goes a long way. There's some times where I purchase some wood and maybe it's 6 months seasoned. And what happens is, you know, you're just not heating up the house, and then you're using up gas or oil or whatever means you use to heat up your house. But it's really all about the wood. And I definitely recommend this gauge here. I didn't have it, and that's probably what led for me to replace the catalytic converter. But that kind of just gives you a gauge when you should engage the flue or not. This little guy is good here. You can adjust the air. This is wide open air, and this is choking it back. And again, you can just monitor the temperature on what you need, right? This is what pulls the catalytic converter, closes the flue, and this is what opens it wide open. Pretty simple stove. We love it. So I hope that helps you guys out. If you have any questions, just write below and I'll respond. Take care.